Pleased to welcome Patricia Heaton to this program. The Emmy-winning actress, of course, starred for 9 seasons on Everybody Loves Raymond. Her latest project, though, was a documentary called The Bituminous Coal Queens of Pennsylvania. Had to look that up. We'll talk about that in just a moment. The Bituminous Coal Queens. The film is being distributed by Netflix. Here now a scene from The Bituminous Coal Queens of Pennsylvania.
And I was so excited because it's from the King Coal Association, and it says, "Dear Sarah, next year marks the 50th anniversary of the Coal Show. To celebrate this milestone, the King Coal Association is planning a once-in-a-lifetime event. The theme for the 2003 Coal Show is King Coal Golden Memories, and we will be recognizing all of the coal queens with a special dinner in their honor," which means 50 years of coal queens. There's no way that I am going to miss this.
Tricia, nice to see you.
Thank you. That's my friend Sarah Rush. We like to describe her as Sally Field on ecstasy.
Oh, yeah. quite a definition.
Yeah.
So how much smarter are you than I am? Because I had to look up. I'm always looking for a good Scrabble word.
Oh, there you go.
So I had to go look up bituminous, and
Yes.
it means like containing of bitumen or something like that.
Yeah.
What is?
It's soft coal as opposed to anthracite, which is hard coal.
Okay.
So there in southwestern Pennsylvania, they have soft bituminous coal is what they mine.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they have like coal queens?
And they have coal. They have a lot of coal queens there. And I've known Sarah Rush for quite a few years, but I was unaware that she was the 1972 bituminous coal queen. And she told me all about it. You know, she's a direct descendant of Benjamin Rush, who was a signer of the Declaration of Independence, and her family has been in Pennsylvania for generations. And she is related to many people in that town and knows everybody. And it's quite a slice of Americana, you know. And that's one of the things that attracted myself and David Hunt, my husband, to doing this project. It's sort of a time capsule of a way of life in America that's change. I won't say disappearing, but it's changing. And that small community that's all involved in this kind of one industry. And they're really terrific people. And I just felt like at a time in our country when there's a lot of struggles going on, the way people around the world look at us as Americans is not always favorable. And I really think the people in this documentary are so funny, but they're warm, and I think they are really typical of what makes this country as great as it is.
When you get into a project like this, to your point, what's your sense of what we are missing or lacking by losing that kind of, for lack of a better word, innocence, or to your phrase, being removed from that time period?
And I think a lot of people, what you see in the media, either through reality shows, which kind of is invested in showing the worst side of people, or in the news media, where there's a lot of doubt and despair about everything that's going on. What we see in this community is real hopefulness and sort of an ability to soldier on. You know, it's really like our town. I mean, it's just, people just are so genuine and so sweet and have real faith in sort of the goodness of their community and the people in it and our country.
So what did you find most fascinating about these bituminous coal queens?
They are so sweet to each other. You know, as I said, there's no you're waiting for them to be catty and to be. It's a beauty pageant. It's a contest, you know, and you're kind of used to seeing reality shows where everyone's out to get each other. And these women are really very supportive of each other and sweet. People who have watched it, first of all, said, "Where did you find these actors?" And we said, "No, it's a documentary. They're not actors," you know. People couldn't believe that these were real people. They're very sweet. And it's something, I think, because it's very middle of the country. You don't see it so much. We have this view from LA and there's a view from New York, but this is really what's going on in most of the country.
You grew up in Cleveland.
In Cleveland, yeah.
Any of this remind you of growing up in the Midwest?
Yeah, well, you know, I went to Ohio State and I was second runner-up in the Fiji Queen of Hearts contest.
Ooh,
yeah,
you go, Patricia. Second runner-up.
I know. That's right. So, and you know, I'm really familiar with this kind of hometown thing. I mean, when I go home to Cleveland, which, of course, I call it destination of the stars.
Yeah.
You know, I'll get a call from Kitty, who's the head grocer at the grocery store, saying, you know, I heard you're in town. We have one fresh turkey left. If you want me to put it aside for you, give me a call. You know, that kind of, you know,
even now.
Oh yeah, now, yeah,
Wow.
when I go home. So you know, she and I went to school together, and so a lot of my friends that I grew up with are still there and work at the schools there, or you know, have families there, and it's really nice actually to go back.
So your dad, I read, was like the big sports writer.
He was
in Cleveland.
yeah,
Playing
he's in the Football Hall of Fame actually.
Your dad is?
Yes,
Wow.
yeah, he was voted the #1 football writer in the country of 1982.
Wow.
Yeah, I grew up with the Browns and the Indians, and
Cleveland's a great sports town.
Cleveland's a great sports town.
Yeah.
It's a great town all around. But you know, I mean, now the Browns and the Indians, I mean, it's just it's like that kind of thing where they just make it, and then they can't quite bring it home.
So growing up as a sports fan in a place like Cleveland and being a female, that over the long haul turned you off to sports, and you're still a big, huge sports enthusiast.
I was always, you know, doing community theater. You know, although I'm kind of athletic, I like playing tennis. I'm taking up golf. I've been surfing, and you know, that kind of stuff. So I'm pretty athletic, but I always was a performer, and I was a journalism major in college because that's what my dad did, and that's what my brother does. You know, he works at the Cleveland Plain Dealer. But I really always needed to be in front of the camera.
You just had to be out front.
Well, you know, I always just thought I was much more interesting than anyone I was interviewing.
Yeah.